Yes, let's talk about the Black struggle. I'm very eager to talk about this. I have just recently finished the Netflix documentary, The Racial Divide, and I learned so much from it. I learned the concept that ultimately what defines a Black American is that shared Black struggle. That a person who is white can never truly understand, and that's what ultimately caused the backlash with Rachel Dolezal, is that despite being so involved in Black culture and the Black community, she was pretending as if she actually had African DNA, when she so easily could pass as a white woman because she was a white woman. And I kept hearing people say on that documentary that there's no way that she can relate to the same struggle because she grew up white. By a white family, she grew up white. And yes, she had adopted siblings that were Black, but she herself grew up white. So what made me think is this. What if you're biracial, but you look white? People have no assumption that you are biracial or have African ancestry. They just assume that you're white. So what if you grow up biracial? What if 40% of your DNA is African, but you grew up with people assuming that you're white? They never would have thought you're Black. And I want to give you an example. The actress Rashida Jones, who was on The Office. That's how I was first introduced on The Office. She was one of my favorite characters. And then one of my favorite movies, you'd be surprised, is I Love You Man. She's Zoe on that, and she's one of the main characters. She's even on the movie poster, one of the 3 people on there. Well, her father is Black, Quincy Jones, and her mother being a Jewish American model. Okay? But we have come to an understanding on this channel that Jewish people are perceived as white here in America. So her mother, white, her father, Black. She's biracial. If she won an Academy Award, people would say that she's the second person to win, the first Black woman to win an Academy Award. Halle Berry being the first. But here's the thing though. If everyone assumes that you're white and you never tell them any different, and you don't have truly that Black struggle, does that get in the way of you being biracial? Does it take away from that if people don't know the difference on that? You know, I'm sure if Rashida Jones was watching this video, which she never will, because she's way too cool for that, but if she did, I'm sure she would be able to tell me stories that would explain to me, yes, she actually has had the Black struggle. But I think one of the things I'm currently fascinated by is I keep asking everybody in the comment section, please define how little African DNA you can have as an American and still be considered biracial. And this is stemming from the whole Meghan Markle thing, because her mother is African American or Black American and her father's white. Okay, and people are watching my old videos commenting on it. Some people say she's Black, some say she's biracial. But I'm like, at some point, if you're so little African DNA, do we still consider you biracial? I mean, because I'm not one to endorse the Jim Crow laws or whatever, right? I'm actually reversing it. I'm not saying, okay, well, if you're 1% African descent, then that makes you Black, because that would make me Black. And I'm not gonna myself get in the same situation as Rachel Dolezal and say I'm African American because both of my parents took a DNA test, and one of them, my mom showed up like 2%, my dad showed up 1%. So that means I'm like 1.5%. No, I'm not here to say that. But I am here to ask how little, what the smallest percentage you can be of African descent and still be considered biracial. And I don't think we're ever going to come to a conclusion on this. Ultimately, a lot of people have commented and said, well, if you're anything less than a quarter, then you're definitely not, or anything less than a third, then you're not. But ultimately, from what I learned from watching that documentary, is it happens more so to do with a combination of having African DNA as an American and being identified as someone who's black, so much so that you have experienced some level of discrimination that someone who has zero African DNA would ever encounter. There's nothing else I can say. From here, I have to pass the mic to you. I need you to take it from here. And please know, if you are a black American, I especially want to hear what you have to say. I'm so happy every time I see new subscribers on my channel. And I see that by default, because of what this channel is about exploring and celebrating diversity and ethnicity and DNA test results, a lot of black Americans are subscribing. And I love that because I get to hear a different perspective that I can't know because I didn't grow up being a black American. I love learning. Thank you so much for leaving comments. That is the future of this channel. Every time people leave comments, it's more videos that are born from that. I love hearing from different people of different backgrounds. I love learning. So teach me in the comments.